Hello, I'm Shadow Coast, and in this video we're going to review the New World Aeternum Archetypes. Amazon has decided to effectively relaunch New World with New World Aeternum, which will bring New World to console and introduce improved storytelling, some additional and altered content, as well as the ability to select archetypes when starting a new character. New World Aeternum is set to release on October 15th, 2024. For PC owners, you'll need to own the New World base game and the expansion Rise of the Angry Earth to access New World Aeternum. If you own both, you'll automatically have your game updated on October 15th to New World Aeternum. For those on console, you can purchase New World Aeternum straight up. Before we begin, it's important to call out that archetypes are not classes. The main advantage of selecting an archetype is that you gain a boost to certain trade skills early, correlating starting weapons, and 5 assigned points into your primary attributes such as strength or intelligence. Unlike other games, you can level up any and all types of skills and weapons, and you gain skill points for a correlating weapon the more you use that weapon. In other words, your starting archetype only helps you start on that type of path and will not limit you in any way if you change your mind later on. You have the ability to level up all trade skills and weapons in the game. In this video, we'll highlight primary attributes or stats for each archetype, but these are based on the starting weapons you'll be able to use. Most weapons have a primary and secondary attribute which you can view when you look at your attributes. I would recommend you review this as you build your character and decide which weapons and playstyles you're going to focus on. Let's jump into the archetypes and outline their role, starting weapons, and trade skill boosts. First we have Soldier, which is primarily a tank and damage dealer. You'll start the game with a sword and shield as well as heavier armor, and your primary stat or attribute will be strength. For trade skills, you'll have a starting boost to weaponsmithing, which allows you to craft metal weapons, mining, which allows you to gather more valuable metal ores, stones, and gems, and a boost to smelting, which allows you to refine gathered ore and workable metal ingot. Next we have Destroyer, which is primarily a damage dealer that can also be played as a tank. Destroyer's primary ability is strength, and you'll start with a two-handed axe and two-handed warhammer sledgehammer. For boosted trade skills, you have armoring, which allows you to craft armor from leather, metal, or cloth, skinning, which provides a boost to gathering more valuable rawhides from skinning animals, and leatherworking, which allows you to refine gathered rawhides into better workable leather. Next we have Ranger, which is a focused range damage dealer. Your primary attribute will be dexterity, and you'll start with a bow and a spear. For trade skill boosts, you have engineering, which allows you to craft specialized equipment and weapons, logging, which allows you to gather more valuable wood variants, and woodworking, which allows you to refine gathered wood into planks. From there we have Musketeer, who is also a focused damage dealer and prioritizes dexterity. You'll start with a rapier and musket. For trade skills, you'll have armoring, which allows you to craft cloth, leather, and metal gear, harvesting, which improves the type of plant fibers you collect, and weaving, which impacts your ability to refine plant fibers into workable cloth to craft. Next we have Occultist, which is a focused damage dealer that prioritizes intelligence as your primary attribute. You'll start with a fire staff and ice gauntlet, allowing you to cause fire and ice damage. For boosts and trade skills, you'll gain a boost in jewel crafting, which allows you to craft powerful jewelry from cut gems and fine metals. Mining, which increases the valuable metals, ores, and stones and gems you gain, and smelting, which improves the refined gathered ore and metal ingots you create. We next have the Mystic, which is primarily a healer but can also be played as a damage dealer. Your primary attribute is focus, and you'll start with a life staff and void gauntlet. For boosts on trade skills, you'll get Arcana, which allows you to craft magically infused items, harvesting, allowing you to gather more valuable plant fibers, and weaving, which allows you to refine gathered plant fibers into workable cloths. I will note that focus is the only primary attribute for the life staff, and is a secondary attribute for flail and shield and void gauntlets. So pouring a lot of points into focus will make you more of a healing focused character versus a damage focused character overall, something to consider. Finally we have Swordbearer, which is primarily a damage dealer, but can also be played as a tank. Swordbearer's primary stat is strength, and you'll start with a great sword and blunderbuss, which is effectively a shotgun. For boosts and trade skills, you'll have cooking, which impacts your recipes you can craft when cooking, fishing, which allows you to catch more valuable fish, which you can salvage for resources, and leatherworking, which impacts your ability to refine gathered rawhides from animals into workable leather. And those are the 7 starting archetypes in New World Aeternum. As a recap, these archetypes only provide a starting boost to your primary attribute by 5 points, a boost to the associated trade skills, and allow you access to 2 weapons based off that kind of path or archetype you're playing as. Once you enter the game, it's up to you to decide where to focus, or potentially respec your character based off your playstyle and your desire. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider dropping a thumbs up and hope to see you in future videos. Shadow Coast out.